Welcome to Daily Office Devotions, where every Monday through Friday we draw insights from that day's scripture readings as given in the Book of Common Prayer. I'm Reggie Kidd, and I'm grateful to be with you this Tuesday, a proper 29 in year 2 of the Daily Office Lectionary. Everything that is written about the Son of Man by the prophets will be accomplished. Luke chapter 18, verses 31b and 32a. There is an astonishing convergence in today's reading between Zechariah's prophecy and what Jesus says in Luke. Yahweh gives Zechariah the sad task of playing out an advanced tableau of some of the most ironic aspects of Christ's future redeeming work. Yahweh sends, in the person of Zechariah, a good shepherd. Symbolized by the names of his 2 staffs, the hallmarks of the shepherd's coming are favor and unity. This good shepherd is rejected by false shepherds and even by the people he has been sent to shepherd. His wages, a most ironic prophecy, are 30 pieces of silver that are destined to be thrown into the treasury. Zechariah chapter 11, verses 12 through 13, and see, of course, Matthew 27, 3 through 10. As a symbol of the people's rejection of God's favor toward them, Zechariah breaks the staff named favor. Absent God's favor, their unity cannot stand. 500 years before Zechariah's time, the United Kingdom had split into 2 rival kingdoms, Israel to the north and Judah to the south. Now, after the end of Babylonian exile, there is the potential for reunification. Instead, the people and their leaders are going to cement the wall of division, Samaria versus Judah. Symbolic of that disunity, Zechariah breaks his 2nd staff, the one named unity, thus annulling the family ties between Judah and Israel. Zechariah chapter 11, verse 14. No sadder prophecy was ever uttered. Even though in Luke, Jesus points to all the Easter eggs in the writings of the prophets, his disciples can't understand what he's telling them about what lies ahead of them in Jerusalem, namely his death and resurrection. In truth, it is hidden from them by God's mysterious providence. Luke chapter 18, verses 34b. Nonetheless, Luke records a magnificent anticipation of the reversal of Zechariah's breaking of the covenant of favor. In the plea uttered by the blind man of Jericho, Jesus, son of David, have mercy on me. Luke chapter 18, verses 38 and 39. Of course, Jesus responds in the affirmative, your faith has saved you. Luke chapter 18, verse 42. Deeper even than the restoration of this man's physical sight is the gift of insight into the restored covenant of favor. Paul writes to the Corinthians in the full wake of Christ's redemptive work. Not only has Christ restored Zechariah's covenant of favor, Christ has restored the covenant of unity. That is why Paul is tasked, like a skilled master builder, to build on the foundation that is Jesus Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 10 through 11. What Paul sees himself helping to build is God's temple, which is comprised of followers of Christ. For God's temple is holy, and you are that temple. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 17b. God help you if you tear down God's holy and therefore united temple. Negatively, Paul does not want that holy unity to be destroyed by a spirit of party loyalty or by division into cults of personality. Anathema to him are cries of, well, I am of Paul, or I am of Apollos, or I am of Cephas, Peter, or even I am of Christ. 1 Corinthians chapter 1, verse 12. You can just imagine what Paul would say about cries of, I am of Rome, or I am of Constantinople, or I am of Calvin, or I am of Arminius, much less of, I am of the cathedral, or I am of All Saints, or of St. Michael's, or fill in the blank. Positively, Paul wants believers to bask in the realization that they are that temple. Paul says God's Spirit dwells in you, 3:16. He's talking about the very Shekinah glory that inhabited the tabernacle in the wilderness, providing unerring guidance to the children of Israel. He means the same Shekinah glory that so filled the temple at Solomon's dedication that everyone had to flee. That same glory cloud, asserts Paul, lives in each of Christ's followers and among them all together. That's why he can exclaim, all things are yours. Whether Paul or Apollos or Cephas or the world or life or death or the present or the future, all belong to you, and you belong to Christ, and Christ belongs to God. 1 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 21b through 23. I can scarcely take in all that Paul's all things are yours means. There's no sphere of life that is unworthy of the believer's interest and engagement, whether science and math or art and literature, whether family or work or leisure. For we belong to Christ, Lord of it all, and he superintends it all, and that to the glory of God. To whatever the Lord calls you today, be blessed in it.